The truth is, longevity means living your fullest and best life for as long as possible. And the only way to really do that is to take care of yourself in this proactive, mindful, and self-aware manner. And I think that's exactly what wellness is today.
Welcome back to In Our Wellness Era. I'm Aashnee, the co-founder of MediTours, a wellness and well-being tourism company and platform. Today we have Carina with us, who's the founder and CEO of Hummcare. Thank you for being here, Carina.
Thank you for having me.
So Hummcare is a health tech platform that supports individuals through their healthcare journey in all stages of life. So let's dive in. So Carina, you started Hummcare because you saw a gap in the market, but can you take us through your personal wellness journey?
Sure, absolutely. Actually, for me, while I did see a gap, it started very, very personally with my own healthcare struggles. I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was 13 years old, so that's now 18 years ago. And back then, PCOS really didn't feel like something that was common. It wasn't talked about, it wasn't even properly diagnosed. And I was very, very lost, very confused. Went to an endocrinologist, went to an OBGYN, GP, put on the wrong medication. And I was I felt very isolated in that. And my parents were super supportive and we wanted to find help. But I remember just being a teenager, feeling like I was the only girl in school that had this really scary lifestyle disorder, and not knowing what that meant for me or my future. And that feeling actually really just stuck with me as a teenager, as someone in my early 20s, and I knew I just didn't want any other woman or any other person to feel this way ever again. Yeah. Now when we even talk about PCOS, 1 in 3 women in India have it. It's something that's so common, it's extremely manageable. There are so many things you can do to take care of it, and it really just stemmed from that, of course coupled with a lot of research, conducted 2 studies, also really understood what was missing in the family care market, the pregnancy care space, and I wanted to find a way to help people ASAP, and that's kind of how we started in COVID.
Got it. So when we think about family building, both men and women's health, we always think about doctors' consultations or allopathic medicine, etc. But where does alternative, holistic wellness practices kind of fit into this?
Great question. I think when we look at men's health, women's health, family planning, mental health, caregiving, and we typically look at it from a medical perspective, we shouldn't leave out all the non-medical aspects, the everyday wellness, the lifestyle factors that play a huge, huge role in one's health, right? So what does sleep, how does sleep influence one's health? How does what you eat influence your health? What about stress levels? What about alcohol or smoking? All of these things typically, play some sort of role in your overall wellness. Yeah. And I think if you make specific, small efforts or incremental changes to your everyday life, the overall impact will be so much larger. Yeah. So it's definitely a blend. I don't think you should stick to only one school. I think it should be a mix of getting that medical expertise, speaking to a doctor, a specialist, an expert, but also looking at other aspects, right? What are you doing when it comes to your stress levels? Can you, practice yoga regularly to help regulate that? Yeah. Can you sleep more? Can you eat well? Yeah. What about exercise? And it's kind of this 360-degree approach that we've seen has the best results.
More complementary in nature, right?
Exactly, and more all-rounded, right? So you think about your physical, your mental, your emotional, the medical, the non-medical, what you eat, how you feel. Yeah. And then all of that together plays kind of this, role in your overall well-being.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
So Carina, can you help us understand the difference between medical care and wellness care for women or people going through different life stages?
I think the umbrella of healthcare has many, many, many components. You look at the medical part of it, which is your regular checkups with your medical practitioner, a specialist, speaking to doctors when you have a healthcare concern, doing your annual, full body health checkups, doing your hormonal health checkups, ensuring that you're on top of your daily vitamins, for example, if you're pregnant, your antenatal and prenatal vitamins as well. And then when we look at wellness, which is a huge other aspect, right? We look at everyday care. What can you do that's proactive? What can you do that's preventative? Whether it is taking care of your mental health and having your regular therapy sessions, whether it is practicing yoga, whether it is exercising. Everyone says you are what you eat. So making sure that you're eating right and eating exactly what your body needs, making sure you're getting the protein, making sure that you're really on top of what your body needs in that particular life stage. So I think the entire wellness aspect is a proactive, preventative approach to care.
Yeah.
It's talking about longevity. And I think, a big question today is people are like, oh, does longevity mean living longer?
Yeah.
But the truth is, longevity means living your fullest and best life for as long as possible. And the only way to really do that is to take care of yourself in this proactive, mindful and self-aware manner, and I think that's exactly what wellness is today.
Nice, thank you. So actually it's a very lonely journey and a lot of people kind of suffer in silence. Like even you shared you didn't know where to go, even though you had very supportive parents, etc. No one was really talking about it in your teenage days. So is there some community building or activity that you have seen through Hummcare that has really made a difference in someone's life, from your clients or someone who's known to you, a story you can share?
Of course, and we see these really beautiful, shared stories all the time at Humm. And the truth is, I think we don't talk about how important community is enough, how important storytelling is, or sharing what we go through with others. For example, we have many different cohorts and communities of care at Humm, and just to give you an example, when someone's in their postpartum journey, postpartum depression is something that's very common, unfortunately. 25% of new moms go through postpartum depression, 75% of new moms go through postpartum anxiety. We have a lot of new moms sharing with us that they had no idea that anyone else was going through this, right? But that entire kind of community, they support one another, you storytell, you share. We've had a lot of, really beautiful community sessions and conversations where people support each other and also say that, we got through it and you will too, and it's going to be okay. And sometimes that's really just all you need when you go through something. Whether, it's even men. We have so many men on our platform in different men's health programs, and a lot of time, men share that they're either embarrassed or too shy to really share, this specific struggle, or whether, they're feeling depressed or anxious, is that perceived as weak? And when they see other men also sharing that, hey, feeling anxious is something very common, we all are feeling it, then you feel more confident to share, you feel more supported, you feel less alone, and I think that's already that first step towards feeling seen and
breaking that ice.
Exactly.
So women in general, Carina, have always been givers and always have prioritized their friends, family, husband, kids, etc. But in the new India that we live in, how do you think the women of today and some tips that they would use to prioritize their well-being and themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, for a long time, society has kind of conditioned us to, give and, serve yourself last, for example. And I think it's kind of just going back to that airplane example, right? Where if there is a crisis on a plane and the masks do come off, you should put your own mask on before putting that on for your little one. And I think that's the way to kind of look at your life and your health as well. I think when you take care of yourself first, you are equipped to handle any situation better. You're healthier, you're happier. It's also important to remember that you matter as much as everyone else does. And you do not come last. And I think for a long time we've kind of, always thought that we come last. But the more you take care of yourself, the better you'll be at your work, performing at work. the more equipped you are to handle any challenge that comes up, the more equipped you are to take care of the people you love the same way they take care of you. I think also a systemic change is really important, because I believe that there should be shared responsibility of the family, shared responsibility of the household. It can't all be on one person. So we need to kind of change the narrative as well, right?
Yeah.
And we need to have more people that are invested, more family members who have an equal role in the family to also take on some responsibility.
Got it. So if I ask you 3 tips or 3 wellness or health modalities that a woman can do today to take care of herself, what would you say they would be?
Okay, so the first one would be stay informed. I think knowledge is power, and it's extremely important for you to do proactively your annual health checkups.
Okay.
It's very important to know the levels of your hormones, how your body is doing, how you're feeling. And I think this is something that you should actually set a date in your calendar and make sure you get your blood work done. If you're across the age of 30, ensure to do your mammogram as well. Is very, very important, and your pap smear. Second, I would say sleep enough. And I think no one talks about this enough. I used to also be one of those people that would think that I could just function on 5 hours of sleep, but you can't. And I think it's really important to prioritize rest. So when I use the word sleep, I mean rest, and ensure that your body is getting that time to recover and heal from the crazy week. And the third one I would say is eat enough protein. And I think, again, no one talks about this enough, but we actually need to measure and check how much protein we're eating. It has the best long-term effects on our health. And actually, I know you asked me for 3, but I have 4. And the last one would be strength train your body. I think muscle building is so, so important, and it has the best long-term effects as we age. So ensure that you're getting your strength training in and you're building muscle.
So what does a prenatal wellness look like beyond just taking supplements?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when one thinks about, maternity, the prenatal stage of maternity as well, one thinks that it's just going to your OBGYN and then taking your supplements and ensuring you do that. But wellness and that entire healthcare journey is so much more than that. Whether it is, antenatal yoga and prenatal yoga, whether it is nutrition, making sure you're eating right, and you're not just reading all of these things online and eating different diet plans that you see that are unverified. It's very important to speak to a specialist and get something that's right for you and your body. Ensuring that you're hydrated, ensuring that you're speaking to a therapist, taking care of your mental health, right? Because this is a huge step and it's a huge change. And with that comes emotions, feelings, anxiety, stress, worry, thoughts, unwelcome thoughts, curiosity, of course a lot of happiness and joy as well. But with change comes a lot of unwanted emotions and factors as well. So taking care of that is so important. Surrounding yourself with people that you love, you trust, make you feel good, maybe other women that are in the similar stage of life as you, so you can kind of knowledge share stories, and kind of build that safe space and community. Physical exercise, taking care of your pelvic floor, making sure you're doing the right exercise with someone who's equipped to handle the stage of your maternity journey you're in. I think it's kind of these everyday practices and exercises that go a very long way, in addition to, of course, your OBGYN consults and your prenatal vitamins.
So a lot of mothers go through a lot of postpartum stress that you spoke about, etc., because it's a lot of change. But what would be the right approach to kind of deal with it?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right, and it's a less known fact, but 25% of moms are diagnosed with postpartum depression, 75% of new moms are diagnosed with postpartum anxiety, 6% of new moms get postpartum psychosis. And it's something that is so prevalent, so common, mental health concerns in general, in this stage, simply because it's one, a change in your hormone levels, of course, and second, it's a change in your life. And with that comes this, influx of emotion, thoughts, worries, and just anxiety and stress, sometimes depression, feeling low because of this huge change, and also fear of the unknown, right? It's new. The best way to approach this is ask for help. I know a lot of people feel like they can't ask for help. You feel very alone, you feel very isolated, but you're not alone. More people feel this way than you think. It's very important to speak to a psychologist, a clinical psychologist, a psychiatrist. Get help. And the sooner you talk to somebody, the quicker you will feel better. And that is the most important aspect. The second part I would say is also talk to your family. A lot of times, your partner or your family members may not even know or understand what you're going through, and maybe you feel like they don't care, but it could simply be that they don't know. And I think it's so important to share because they do care, and I'm sure they want to be there for you. So talk and ask for help.
I want to ask this because a lot of people sometimes don't know the difference between a psychiatrist, a psychologist, and a clinical psychologist. So what is the difference and who is the right person to actually go to?
Good question. So a psychiatrist is someone who can prescribe medication. A psychologist is someone who has a psychology degree and they can do specific types of therapy like talk therapy, maybe CBT. A clinical psychologist has a clinical psychology degree and they're able to diagnose specific mental health disorders, and then they would connect you to a psychiatrist to get prescription for that medication.
Got it. So you did bring about intentional rest as a part of even sleep in one of our earlier questions, and something that both of us also sometimes struggle with the kind of work we do and just being out there as founders. But how is it important? I have my story to share, but I want to know yours.
So I don't think I'm the perfect example at all of a lot of intentional rest, but there's so much value in cutting out some amount of time to heal, recover, rest, sleep. For me in my life, I like to make sure that on a Sunday, I get that time after a crazy week. Of course, there aren't any days off at work, but at least finding the things that give me room to recover, whether that is going for a long walk, whether it is taking a nap on a Sunday, whether it is, just laughing and watching friends or talking to my family, spending time with them. But finding that framework where you feel rested and you're ready to start afresh the next day is so important. I really believe that getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep is essential. It's essential for our hormones, it's essential for our mental state, it's essential for productivity, and it's essential for happiness. So making sure you also get that sleep, and exercise. For me, exercise is a form of meditation as well, and it's a release, right? So getting that in is very important to me.
So there was a stage in life that I was at it, like I was going, and I was completely burnt out to the extent that I actually got hospitalized, etc. for certain things. And then it was always somewhere skewed in my head that if I ask for help or say I'm not doing okay, I'll be considered weak. But then when I actually took that break later, and I actually went to one of the retreats where they checked on my parameters, etc., I actually bounced back way stronger, way more energized, way more refreshed, and stuff that probably I would take 7-8 hours to do. Even basic decision making, like the brain fog would just clear, like this basic clarity would just happen in like probably 30 minutes or a couple of hours versus it me dragging it out. And there was even a time I just couldn't articulate what I wanted or what I wanted to say because I was so muzzled up with my thoughts. But I feel that rest and break really helps you articulate things better, be more clear about things, and really streamline your life, right? Why does a train have a schedule? Why do we have a flight schedule? Because that schedule really helps you kind of stay on track, and that schedule is of days where the flight is just in the gangway and not flying, or in the hangar, and there are days that they're flying too, right? So even a flight needs a break, and we are human. We have a brain, we have a heart, we have chakras, we have everything going, we have emotions. So for us, that break is really important. So,
Well, thank you for sharing that, and I'm so sorry that happened to you also. But rightly, like you said, right? If an aeroplane and a train, that's a non-living thing, needs rest, then what about us? So yeah, I fully agree.
Awesome. You already know how passionate I am about wellness and alternative treatments, and we curate and host retreats at Meditours. They could be either spiritual retreats, or it could be retreats for lifestyle conditions like diabetes, cholesterol, blood pressure, or it could be a safari but make it wellness, etc. I wanted to know your opinion on how important you think wellness is at different life stages of people's lives, both men and women, or even for like postpartum care or menopause, or just in general.
Yeah, you know, we've already touched upon having that proactive approach to your health and wellness, and I think retreats are absolutely a way to also get that kind of all-round, kind of this a week or a few days fully kind of having that immersive experience into taking care of yourself, whether you are looking to take care of nutrition and fitness, whether you are currently looking to take care of your heart, fitness, you're trying to manage your diabetes. I think finding the right wellness program that can help tackle these aspects, right? Help you, tackle whether it's your hormones, whether it's specific levels you're trying to manage, whether you're, looking to de-stress because the stress has been really a lot at work. But I think absolutely it's an amazing way to get that immersive experience. You have to find the right program and, make sure that you're ready to do it.
That's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
We find the right program and the right retreat for you basis your wellness goals and objectives, and we kind of meet you where you are at versus kind of making you feel more overwhelmed, because everyone's so overwhelmed with where to start and how to start, but we kind of meet you where you are and then handhold you further from there.
Absolutely. And I think another important thing when you approach something like a wellness retreat is that you also need to be ready to practice it and apply it to your life, because it's very easy to go for this 5-day experience and then come back and be like, it's over. But the actual work and the journey starts when you come back, right? Because it's about the learnings, it's about applying that to your everyday
because
life.
You have to sustain that kind of life further on.
Exactly.
So Carina, as a fellow founder in the healthcare space, a lot of times we give a lot, but what do you do to balance your energies, and what do you do for your well-being?
I think, for a long time I wasn't prioritizing my own health, which is ironic considering we run a healthcare company. But, we started this journey 5 years ago, and a couple of years in I was so tired and just completely bone tired and fatigued and almost burnt out, and I was like, this is just not sustainable. For me to stay on top of it, feel energized at the beginning of every week, there are a few things that keep me going. The first is exercising. For me, physical fitness for my physical and mental health is so important. Ensuring that I get that 1 hour dedicated to myself. I'm not thinking about my email, not thinking about my messages or my laptop. And it's solely about the release of stress and getting stronger. The second is sleep. Ensure that I get at least 6, 7 or 8 hours of sleep per night, so that I'm not actually tired and I'm thinking straight at work, which we all need to do. The third, eating well. I'm not a big believer of very extreme diets and not eating and cutting out things entirely. I think it's really important to nourish your body and our bodies that give us so much. Making sure I eat the protein, making sure that I'm hydrating enough are essential. And the last is spending time with the people that I love. Nothing helps me feel more energized than that. And just an afternoon laughing with my family makes me feel ready to go again. So
Nice. So Carina, this has been such a beautiful conversation, a much needed one. Everyone seeing this is going to definitely feel seen and supported, if nothing else. So thank you so much for doing this. If this resonated with you guys, please like, save and share it, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.